This video is going to show you how to create an alias within a timer. Timers usually come by default with a TON_1 and then the next progressive one. If you know you need timers, there's a simple way to make them more identifiable, and that is have a list of your timers ready to go and program the variable prior to putting it on your logic. So I have this program called program 2 and I want to add a timer. But before I do that, I'm going to open up my local variables and I'm going to create a new timer. And the first one is I'm going to put down system delay. Now, as an alias or a name, you've got to put an underscore. You can't leave it blank or it's not going to accept it. And the data type is going to be, in this case, is going to be a TON. The second I've done that, notice the arrow. So I have all my components and it's called system delay. I can give an initial time, and if you're going to be doing your timers in a program and you know the initial time, then click on initial time, do the hashtag. Oh, let me do it. Interesting. Okay, we'll have to come back and revisit that. So if we're going to do another, say I'm going to do a TOF. Keep forgetting the underscore. And we're going to go OK. Back to our program. I'm going to grab my timers. You can drag and drop the menu if you're going to be using something all the time. See how it has favorites, rung branch, bit. Timers are next in line, so I'm just going to move that over, and it's a quick, easy way so you don't do what I had to do, where to go. Okay, so I'm going to go to timer. I want to put a ton. Now you see what it's done is put that TON_1, which is not what I wanted. So we have to fix that. The easiest way to fix that is to go into the editor, and you can see where it says ton_ton01. I'm going to highlight that. System delay. Now it's got system delay in here. Excellent. And on my next rung, I'm going to stop that. I don't want to do that rung just yet. Okay, so when the queue is finished, I want it to do something. I'll just put an output for now. Okay, now I'll do my next rung. And I'm going to do the same thing. So when the system's running, I want to shut down timer, so when I turn the system off, one function is going to continue running. So I'm going to go and put in a TOF. Okay, and right here I'm going to put TOF, and I'm going to put system_dwell. Okay, and you can see it says system dwell, and I'm going to put down shutdown over here. So now I want to use my timer, my TON that's called system dwell. I'm going to create another rung, and this is where aliasing it really becomes handy. I want a horn to run, so I'm just going to grab this bit and this bit and this, and I'm going to say when the system delay is on, starting to count, we'll use our reg. Actually, that was not when I was ahead of myself. Usually I put the reg first and then the Q. I could have just used a space bar too, and the other one's system. So you can see the advantage here that now that I have created these timers using this nomenclature on the top, I can start using that. So when I go back to look at my program, I'm not looking up TON, I'm looking up, oh, okay, that's a reg, that's from a timer, and that's from the, and I highlight it and it pops up in the little box. It gives me the full name, systemdelay.reg. Awesome, perfect. Now to complete my program properly, of course, I've got to start naming these. And that's program 2. I'm going to go OK. OK. So these are all a series of internal bits that might be running a different part of a program. Again, conveyor dwell, right click, variable selector, and go OK. So that's the simplest way to do it. If you're uncomfortable with doing this, there is another way to do it. It's a little more frustrating. Well, it's frustrating in the first place. One of the biggest problems is that timers are always considered to be local variables. They are not considered to be global variables. And you can create a global timer that can act as a heartbeat. But to do that, you're going to have to be comfortable with typing this part here. Or you're going to have to use some hoops to jump through. There is a video that says how to work globally with a timer. So we're going to focus on this point, the other method of changing and giving yourself an alias. Either one will work. So I'm going to create a new rung. And I'm just going to put a timer in it because I am. So this timer is just going to run and it's all done. So here I have that. So I'm going to right click on the PT time, which right now is empty. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to go variable selector. And by default, it says it's a time base. I don't want a time base. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to cross that out. This field here is to, it's a filter, and it only selects whatever you clicked on it. If you want to open that up, just click that and it gets rid of it. There you are. Now you're looking at everything in program 2. Down here, you'll see it says TON1. So you can go into your program and you can have all your timers. They'll be TO1, 2, 1, 2, 3, whatever. We're going to click on it just once, not double click. And I've done that many times and I still do it because it's most programs you require a double click. We're going to backspace and we're going to say conveyor on delay. Still have to learn to type. Okay, so there's conveyor on delay. It's a ton. I'm going to hit OK. And it's changed it here. It's automatically put that conveyor in there. If you find that easier, then by all means. You notice I don't have to go up to this editor, and I can close that editor and give myself a little more space if I want, etc. The problem with this part is that I have to remember to put in my time. So I'm going to just click on that and I'm going to put T hashtag 3S. So it's a 3-second delay. Now the other thing that I'm going to do a video, I'm going to figure out, because you can set up those initial values. And if you're using timers, you may want to change this on the fly. But for now, you can see it that you can create on each of these timers a alias so that it's more specific and it makes it easier to follow in the program, as opposed to TON1, I forgot what number I'm up to. In this case, it makes no difference. You could have 1,000 timers and it doesn't matter because they're all named. I don't have to remember that timer 850 is the delay for the elevator lift. Like, I don't need to do that. I just have to look up, oh, elevator lift. There it is. So until next time. Revisiting our timers and aliasing, I showed you in the variable selector that you could create an alias, and then I said you can put the initial time, and then it wouldn't work. And I went, well, giving that a second thought, I realized my mistake, and that is when I actually opened it up and I showed you the different components were all there. That's when you put in your program time, because it then becomes available by putting it under the initial value. And when you do that, you just click it. For example, I can go into my system delay and its program time is 500 milliseconds. I just click it once. When you initially get there, it has absolutely nothing. So you go T hashtag 450 milliseconds. So this is going to have a dwell and a delay. And once you've done that, it may not appear in your program. So let's go back to our program, and you'll notice that these two, the delay and the dwell that I programmed, do not have any initial value. They don't have anything written there. That's because that gets written in when you do your download. When you're downloading to the processor, it gives you those two choices, the one that says download or download with initial values, or download with values. When you do that, it takes the initial value and plops it into the program. If you select the regular download, what's going to happen is it doesn't know. So here, if you want to make sure that every single time it doesn't just do the same exact identical thing, you just type in 500 milliseconds or time. We'll go 600 milliseconds, and it's going to be overwritten the first time. If you select that, it's going to be overwritten with the initial value and then relate to the 600 milliseconds. And that's all there is to it.